Hi, everybody. It's Kathy Homeyer, and I'm in cooking mode today because it's going to be very warm here in the Adirondacks. What's flashing up there is a YouTube that is I'll tell you in a minute. Um, it's going to be very warm here in the Adirondacks, and I've had kind of trouble starting up a little concoction here over the past few weeks because the temperature has been wacky and I haven't been paying attention. But this week is going to be great. So I decided to offer my challenge again to make digestible baked goods. Yes, you can have your cake and eat it too. And energetically, it's a really cool thing. Now, I just did a short one on my culinary naturopathy page, my Facebook page. So if you haven't gone on that, it's culinary naturopathy. I don't talk as deep into energetics on that one, but I am talking about sourdough. And to me, this is the second dimension that is here to help us. The second dimension in our gut, the bacteria and all that sort of thing, they help us not assimilate, but um, make matter bioavailable, basically. And with sourdough, now, I'm not a fan of sourdough bread. I really am not. I don't like, you have to bake it at 400 and it's crusty and blah, blah, blah. I'm not a fan of sourdough bread, but what I love is making baked goods with sourdough. Now, the link up there, which is kind of doing weird things, is to my just a short video on sourdough chocolate cake. Um, During the challenge, at the end of the sourdough challenge this week, I have a sourdough challenge where you get an email every week. And I know some people have been successful and some people have started it, some people haven't finished, and some people just have not been successful. This week, again, being so warm, and I'm assuming a lot of places that are hearing this is going to be warm as well, it's going to be easy to start. And you make much more than bread with this. You make cake, muffins. At the end of the sourdough challenge, you make English muffins. Now, who wouldn't love an instantly made English muffin, right? And you put a little baking powder in there so you don't have to wait for it to rise. It's just an instant thing. But what the sourdoughing does, and I really dislike that term, what the superfood bread dough does is pre-digest the grain, which people have been really down on wheat, but a lot of times it is not the wheat, it's the glyphosate and everything in the wheat that they did. And I'm pretty convinced that the sourdough also helps break that down and reduce that as well, so that you're not and always get organic if you can, but good, better, best. If that's not what you have, then just go ahead and make sourdough. It's better than the store-bought stuff that you have. You can get perfectly organic grain and all that sort of thing, but God only knows where it's grown and where it's been and what fell on it and blah blah blah. So good, better, best. If you want to join the challenge, I'll be posting that. So look for that. It'll be a separate post of the sourdough challenge. You just log in with your email and you get an email every day, just kind of guiding you through. And I'll be doing probably some Zoom and Q&As if there's people in there who need some help, or just want to chat about making digestible bread. Like I said, that kind of thing that's doing funky things right there with that extra W. I can probably fix that, but I'm not gonna. Is just, I'll put it down below. It's a link to my YouTube on sourdough cake, which I really loved. It was impromptu, and it's just a cake that I even think I used a box cake. I don't even remember, but it's not perfect. But it's better than getting from one of the chain stores or whatever. If you're adding your own stuff, you can up the vibe of just about any food. I have been this morning, I've got some broth on the stove, and everybody talks about bone broth. I make broth most of the time. I put bones in it, but it doesn't have to be bone broth. That drives me crazy as well. Sorry. I've also made my kids some high vibe iced tea. I've actually swirled, vortexed, and mineralized my water. And every once in a while, I go a little crazy and also distill it because we have a lot of iron in the water. I also added some chaga into their tea. Now, I've got down on my chaga, and I thought, this is a piece of chaga. If you don't know what that is, look it up. And I'm like, okay, I don't know how somebody brings me a piece of chaga. I only know that they do now. This is a great phrase. Write it down. It works tremendously. I don't know how, blah, blah, blah. Someone brings me a piece of chaga. I only know that they do now, and I am fulfilled. And say that with a lot of emotion. And that has worked wonders for years for me. Lo and behold, huge piece of chaga. And yes, he harvested it sustainably because he shook the tree and it fell on his head. So I have a wonderful piece of chaga. So I have energized water, I have chaga, and yes, I have sugar because that's pretty much the only way they'll drink it. I do have some alternative sugar, but it just never tastes like the real white sugar. So yeah, sugar is a crystal, so go for it. My opinion, just not too much. So I have some energized iced tea. I have my sourdough going this morning. I have some broth in the kitchen, lots of veggies and bones make a good broth. And I'm playing around again in my kitchen. I have so many things all around me half the time that my family goes crazy. I drive them nuts. But anyway, so if you want to join the challenge, I'll be posting that. Good week, good time anyway to really work with the second dimension. Have them help you make these things bioavailable for your body so they're fun and they're good. And again, English muffins, cakes, muffins, anything you can bake, you can make with superfood dough. Okay. Anyway, if you want to join in, I'll be posting it. Have a great day. Have a great Sunday. And we'll see you next time.